The cold wind brushed against Alex's face as he stood at the bus stop, holding a worn-out bag that had only a few books and his old notebook inside. For years, people told him he would never achieve anything. He was the son of a factory worker, born in one of the poorest neighborhoods of Chicago. Teachers often ignored him, classmates laughed at his broken shoes, and even some relatives said he was just wasting time dreaming about a better future. But Alex had a dream. He wanted to become an engineer, to build machines that could make life easier for people like his father, who worked day and night in harsh conditions. The problem was that Alex had no money, no support, and no one who believed in him. Still, he woke up every morning before sunrise, delivered newspapers to earn a few dollars, and then went to school. One day, while sitting in class, Alex raised his hand to answer a tough math problem. The teacher looked at him, smiled faintly, and said, "Alex, students like you don't usually get this right. Let's give someone else a chance." The class laughed. His face turned red, but instead of lowering his hand, he stood up and solved the problem perfectly on the board. Silence filled the room. Even the teacher was shocked. At home, things were even harder. His father had developed severe back pain from years of factory work, and his mother cleaned houses to pay for rent. Alex worked extra shifts, sometimes skipping meals just to save money for exam fees. Many nights, he studied under the dim light of a street lamp because their electricity was cut off. People whispered behind his back, he should stop dreaming. He's not meant for college. He'll end up just like his father. Each word hurt like a knife, but Alex kept moving forward. His dream was stronger than their doubt. Months later, a big science competition was announced at school. The winner would receive a scholarship to study at a prestigious university. For Alex, this was more than just a chance, it was his only hope. He spent every free moment working on his project, building a small machine that could save energy and reduce costs for factories. While his friends partied, Alex stayed up night after night, his hands covered in grease and his eyes burning from lack of sleep. Finally, the day of the competition arrived. Students from wealthy schools came with expensive equipment, flashy presentations, and professional support. Alex stood alone with his simple machine built from scrap metal. The judges barely glanced at him at first, but Alex explained his invention with passion. He showed how it could save money for poor workers, how it could make life better for families like his own. As he spoke, the crowd grew quiet. The judges exchanged looks, impressed by his determination and vision. Still, some people in the audience laughed softly, whispering that he didn't stand a chance against the rich schools. When the results were announced, Alex's heart pounded. He closed his eyes, praying silently. The announcer's voice echoed through the hall, "The first prize, along with a full scholarship, goes to Alex Carter." For a moment, Alex couldn't move. The audience erupted in applause, but he only thought of his parents, his father's tired smile, and his mother's calloused hands. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he stepped onto the stage. It was the first time in his life he felt the taste of victory, not because of luck, but because he refused to give up. But this was only the beginning. The real test of his courage was yet to come. Alex could not believe he had actually won the scholarship. For the first time, he felt that his endless nights of struggle had finally paid off. His parents hugged him tightly, their eyes wet with pride. But deep inside, Alex knew that this was not the end of the journey, it was only the beginning. College was waiting, and with it came challenges he had never imagined. The first day at the university was overwhelming. The campus was huge, students wore expensive clothes, and many of them drove cars that Alex could only dream of. When he entered the classroom, some students looked at his second-hand jacket and whispered to each other. Alex pretended not to notice, but the truth was that he felt like an outsider. Lectures were tough. The pace was fast, and most of his classmates had already studied advanced subjects in private schools. Alex, on the other hand, had learned from old textbooks and late-night study sessions. Many times, he failed to keep up. After his first exam, when he saw his low grade, his heart sank. For a moment, he wondered if everyone had been right, maybe he wasn't meant to be here. But then he remembered his father's words, "Son, pain is temporary, but giving up lasts forever." That night, instead of sleeping, Alex stayed in the library until morning. He read every book he could find, practiced problems again and again, and asked questions from professors even when other students laughed at him. Slowly, his grades began to improve. Money was another problem. The scholarship covered tuition, but he still needed to survive. To earn extra income, Alex worked as a cleaner in a local diner, wiping tables and washing dishes late at night. Some of his classmates saw him working there and mocked him. "The scholarship boy is cleaning plates," they laughed. But Alex didn't care. He knew that every drop of sweat was an investment in his future. Years passed with sacrifice, sleepless nights, and endless effort. One evening, during his final year, Alex was called into the dean's office. He thought he was in trouble, but instead, the dean looked at him with a proud smile. "Alex," he said, "you have been selected to represent our university at an international engineering competition. You've designed something that could change the world." Alex was shocked. The machine he had been working on quietly, late at night in the lab, was now being recognized. It was a device that could provide clean, affordable energy to poor communities. He poured his soul into perfecting it, determined to prove that greatness does not depend on wealth, but on resilience and vision. The day of the competition came. Delegates from around the world gathered, experts and scientists sat in the front rows. Alex stood on stage, nervous but determined, remembering every hardship that had brought him there. He spoke with passion, explaining how his invention could bring light to villages, reduce suffering, and give children a chance to study at night. When he finished, the entire hall stood up and clapped. Judges announced that Alex had not only won first prize but also received funding to bring his invention to life. He was no longer just a poor boy from Chicago, he was now an innovator who could change lives. As Alex walked off the stage, he spotted his parents in the audience. His father, frail but smiling, stood with tears in his eyes, and his mother clasped her hands together, whispering a prayer of gratitude. In that moment, Alex realized something important. Success is not about where you come from, or how much money you have, it is about how much you are willing to fight, to sacrifice, and to keep moving forward even when the world doubts you. He had started as a boy mocked for his broken shoes, but he became a man respected for his unbreakable spirit. And the lesson his life gave to everyone was clear: when you refuse to give up, no force in the world can stop you from rising.